The Bajorans. A cool faction, but one that needs a lot, and I do mean a lot, of time in Sickbay. Welcome back to the shipyard and another Get the Cheese to Sickbay. Today, we are going to fix the entire Bajoran faction in one episode. Yes, perhaps I'm crazy, but with only 5 expansions, plus a Deep Space Nine card or 2, I think I can get it all done pretty quickly. We're just going to run and see where we get. We're going to start with ships. The Ephraim, Bajoran scout ship, 18 points. 2232, good actions. Only crew slots needs a weapon slot. I understand thematicism, but let's toss a weapon on there. Or maybe a tech. Tech might be more thematic. Each time you defend, if there's an evade token beside your ship, you may reroll all of your defense dice once. You must keep the outcome of the second roll. I need a ruling on that to know if you can still spend a battle station token to modify your defense dice, because I don't know. I think you should be able to spend a battle station to modify your dice. It's just that you can't reroll rerolls. But if you're stuck with dice, then that part of it needs to go. Yeah, beyond that, Ephraim, good. Bajoran light ship. 12.1230, evade, scan only. Again, that makes total sense. Only a tech. It needs a crew slot to be thematic with Ben Sisko and Jake going on there. So let's give it a crew slot. And that's true of the Denorius even, because that has 2 tech slots. So I was looking at the generic. But yeah, the Denorius has the same issue there. Give it a crew slot. Named ability on the Denorius. When defending during the compare results step, you may place an Aux power token beside your ship to cancel 1 hit result. That's really cool. I like it. Let's keep it there. Deep Space Nine. 44 points. When firing any torpedoes, do not disable the torpedoes. Sure. I would like to see a version of Deep Space Nine that says you may fire a torpedo and your primary weapon. I think that would be very thematic to a station. So yeah, the other version of Deep Space Nine, which is also Bajoran, that's why we're talking about it. Each time you defend during the roll defense dice step, you may roll up to 2 additional defense dice. If you do, disable one of your active shields for each additional die you roll. The fix there is not for each additional defense die you roll, but 1 disabled shield for 2 defense dice. That's a better trade-off. Interceptor 5, I know I just did a review on this. Named ability, you do not lose your perform action step or take damage when you overlap a planet, obstacle, or ship base. You may roll defense dice against any minefield. That's great named ability. Keep it. We're good to go. Interceptor 8. When attacking, if your ship is not in the target ship's forward firing arc, add +1 attack die. Another great named ability. I would like to see an addition of, and you may re-roll any one of your attack dice. Give it a car-esque ability. I think that would be cool. And the Ratosha. After you move, if your ship is within range 1 of a friendly ship, you may perform a battle station action as a free action. Yeah, it's a really good named ability as well. So the only ship that really needs a fix is the Ephraim. Deep Space Nines could use some modifications, but yeah, Bajoran named ships, they're pretty good. Alright, the one Admiral here, Jero Isa. Action, discard one of your Bajoran crew upgrades to perform this action. Each time you defend this round during the roll defense dice step, roll 2 additional defense dice. This card may only be purchased for a Bajoran ship. I have problems that there's no way to taunt for sure. Yes, you could combo him, but it's an action. And discarding Bajoran crew, there's no cheap Bajoran crew upgrades, as we'll get to in a minute. So he's paying a very hefty price. Maybe he needs to also add a crew slot. Maybe he needs to give me some kind of quality, a la Hood Riker, with the roll additional and convert. If I'm going to take an action, I want some quality, not just 2 extra dice. It is nice that it's an each time, but I still want more. Alright, captains. Ephraim Lon, 2 skill, 1 point. He can field up to 2 Bajoran elite talents. That's cool for a 2 skill captain. I'm not going to bash that. Not amazing, but it's something. Kira Nerys, 3 skill 2 point. If a crew upgrade on an enemy ship would cause your ship to discard or disable any of your upgrades, roll 2 defense dice. If you roll at least 1 evade result, ignore the effects of the enemy upgrade. You do not pay a faction penalty when assigning her to a Federation ship. Okay, that much is cool. It needs to be more than just crew upgrades. It needs to include captains and maybe even admirals at this point, but captains for sure. And I mean, why not just say any upgrade or captain? Then she at least has a place. As it is, Nerys just doesn't have any position in the game. 2 defense dice, yeah, sure, fine. I'll take that chance. But I want it to work on more than just the random crew. Alright, Linares Holem. Skill 3, 2 point. Each time you are attacked, if you have an evade token beside your ship, you may reroll 1 of your defense dice. Okay, sure. I'd rather have him convert than just reroll, but I'll take it. He needs to convert to be playable. Convert a blink or battle station into an evade. That much good. It's that, or if you have an evade, roll 1 extra and get a reroll. Maybe the inverse of Captain Carr. If your captain skill is lower than the captain skill of the ship attacking you, roll +1 defense die and re-roll 1 of your defense dice up to twice. There we go. That would be really fun. He might need to cost 3 points for that, but that would be a cool effect. Daikon, 4 skill, 3 points. When attacking with your primary weapon during the roll attack dice step, you may set 1 of your attack dice on the result of your choice. Always like that. Picard 8, great effect. If you do so, place an Aux Power token beside your ship. The die cannot be rolled or rerolled during the round you use this ability. Yeah, because Picard has to do it against a chosen faction and not just any time, I think the Aux Power is a reasonable trade-off there to be able to do this any time. The downside is that he doesn't work multiple times. So I would get rid of his when attacking with your primary weapon or the Aux Power thing. So if you want to keep him with just the primary weapon, then I think he's fine and not overpowered to just set the die. But if you want to let him work with secondary weapons, then I think he needs to take the Aux Power. So, for instance, if you wanted him to work with Ferengi missile launchers and work on both attacks, then he needs to take 2 Aux Power to do it. Or a whole bunch of Disruptor Pulses, then, yeah, you're going to have a whole bunch of Aux. But, yeah, I think there's balance here, and he takes both sides of the negative, and that doesn't make him a positive despite what mathematics tells us about a negative times a negative. This is just adding negatives. Alright, another version of Kira. Skill 5, 3 points. Action, all of your friendly ships within range 1 to 2 of your ship may immediately perform a target lock action as a free action if possible. This is a great ability. She's saying, hey, you get a target lock, you get a target lock, everybody gets a target lock. What I would like her to do is, if not possible, then something else. Remove a disable. Some other form of quality that would help the ship, because she's still granting an ability. And I feel like she should do something rather than nothing, even if you have nothing to target lock. Okay, Tana Los. 5 skill, 3 points. Add 1 tech icon to your ship's upgrade bar. One of the tech upgrades you purchase for Tanalos's ship costs exactly 3 squadron points and is placed face down beside his card. This upgrade cannot refer to a specific ship or class of ship. This upgrade remains face down until you decide to use it, and then is turned face up for the rest of the game. Fantastic ability. This is the way you get tech that you need to get onto a ship that normally can't get it. He does good work. He does fantastic things, and he doesn't have any restrictions. He is a smuggler through and through, and I hope that the Maquis get some abilities like this that would really make them even better than they are. Yeah, I have nothing to fix about Tanalos. Krim, 6 skill, 4 points. Add 1 crew upgrade slot to your upgrade bar when defending during the modified defense dice step. You may reroll 1 of your defense dice for every damage card assigned to your ship, max of 3. Why do we need a max? I don't know. That's my only thing. Get rid of the max. Beyond that, yeah, it's fine. It's that or max 3 and you convert. You convert dice. Blanks to battle stations to evades. And let each of those count as a conversion point. And that would be a very interesting effect. So, options there. Shakar Edon, or Eden. Also 6 skill, 4 points. When attacking, you may reroll all of your blank results. Cool. We saw it with Klingon skill 5 Worf. And this is good. So, again, nothing to fix. Last Captain, Hazar, skill 7, 4 points. If your ship is within range 1 of a planet token or an obstacle, all attacks made against your ship are at -1 attack die. Yeah, sure. -1 attack die isn't necessarily enough. I'd like to see more. Instead of minus attack die, ships cannot use a target lock or battle station token against you. Prevent quality. Maybe keep battle stations, but ships cannot reroll attack dice against you. That would be something better to me. First half done. 24 upgrades to go. Anara, crew. Action, discard this card to repair 1 damage to your hull. If it's a discard, it better be doing more than 1. 2 at a minimum. If it's limited to hull, honestly, 3. 3 would not be ridiculous. I could say 2 and hull or shields would be fine. For 3 points, yeah. I think that would be a legitimate trade-off there. Assault Vessel Upgrade. This is a question mark card. You may fill any slot on your upgrade bar, so crew, weapon, tech, not elite talents. With this upgrade, your primary weapon and shield values are at +1. This upgrade may only be purchased for a Bajoran scout ship, and no ship may be equipped with more than 1 assault vessel upgrade. Great upgrade, love it, don't want to change it. Bajoran Militia, another crew action. During the combat phase, add a number of attack dice equal to the number of Bajoran Militia upgrades assigned to your ship, max +3, until the end phase. This upgrade may only be purchased for a Bajoran ship, makes total sense. Bajoran Militia, great card again. Don't want to change anything. Blockade, 5-point talent action. Discard this card to target all friendly ships within range 1 of your ship, including your ship. Target ships gain +1 attack die and +1 defense die this round. Since it's limited to range 1, I don't think this needs to be a discard. It's also just +1 attack die and +1 defense die, period. It's not an each time. So, a couple of things could happen. Either get rid of the discard, let this be a thing you could do every round, or change it to be a discard, but allow it to work each time you attack and defend. Those would be the 2 paths I could take. Another talent, DRS? I don't honestly know. Action, discard this card to target a friendly ship within range 1 to 3. Perform the action listed on one of that ship's crew upgrades. If the crew upgrade is Bajoran, treat this action as a free action. This upgrade may only be purchased for a Bajoran captain assigned to a Bajoran ship. Here's the problem. It's 5 points for 1 time to get a bonus action. I think the easiest fix is to make this a 2-point card. And then it works perfectly fine. With things like this, I have to ask the question, does it pass the Martok 8 test? And as is, the answer is no. It's too expensive, but lower cost? Yeah. Alright, Daikon 2-point crew. During the activation phase, you may discard this card to perform an additional action from your action bar as a free action. I think the answer here is time tokens rather than a discard. Maybe 2 or 3 time tokens. Let him work every second, third turn. And I don't think that's broken for 2 or 3 points. Yeah, he'd probably have to be 3 time tokens at 2 points. Otherwise, you'd have way too good of action economy. Because he would be a cross-faction answer for everything if he was 2 points with time tokens. Okay, Emissary. Another 5-point unique talent. At the start of the activation phase, you may discard this card to remove all disabled upgrade tokens from all Bajoran upgrades Deploy to all friendly ships within range 1 to 3. Here's the problem, it doesn't work on your own ship. At the bare minimum, this needs to work on your ship. In addition, it should also remove time tokens, because it's the emissary. Powerful. I think that's probably the bare minimum to fix this. It should probably also come down in cost just a little. Another talent, Am Kohnma, 3-point unique. Action, discard this card to target a ship at range 1 to 3. Disable one upgrade of your choice on the target ship. This upgrade may only be purchased for a Bajoran captain. Nice that it works through Shield's cloak, doesn't care about that. Problem is it's an action for a disable, so again, we go back to the fix. It should be action, discard this card, target a ship at range 1 to 3, disable one upgrade of your choice, and place one time token on it. That way they can't fix the disable instantly. Also should probably be 2 points because you are spending an action and losing the card. They're not losing their card in response. Okay, Legendary Hero, 5-point talent. You may discard this card at the start of the combat phase to gain +2 attack dice and +2 defense dice for that round. This upgrade may only be purchased for a Bajoran captain assigned to a Bajoran ship. Here's the problem. This round, not each time, one time, and no quality. Now, granted, no actions being spent. It just feels a little pricey. I think I'd rather have like a 3-point version of this card for either +2 attack dice or +2 defense dice. And that would be a little bit more worthwhile to me. And maybe it's Bajoran captain or a Bajoran ship. I don't know. Leonalis, 2-point crew. You may disable Leonalis to prevent one of your crew upgrades or a captain card from being disabled this round. Or you may discard Leonalis to prevent one of your crew upgrades or captain cards from being discarded this round. Yeah, it's great. He is a great card. He gets tons of play. Don't want to fix him. Mainsails, 4-point tech. At the start of the game, place 2 shield tokens on this card. When your ship suffers damage, remove these tokens first. You cannot use these tokens to activate any other card abilities. This upgrade may only be purchased for a Bajoran light ship. No ship can have more than one. You're paying 4 points for 2 durability, same trade-off, so you're essentially enhancing it. It works. I've seen it used. Works perfectly fine for me. Maneuverability, 5-point tech. During the activation phase, if you reveal a 1 turn or come about, you may use the full about. That's the 180. So essentially turn. So you do like a sensor echo and a 180 flip. If you do so, treat this as a red maneuver. After performing any maneuver, you may overlap a planet token. While you are overlapping a planet, you can still perform actions, attack without penalty, and be attacked, although you roll +1 defense die. Costs +5 for any ship other than a Bajoran interceptor. Yeah, a lot of text there for some cool abilities. It's a little pricey. Again, 4 points would be fine with me as well. So, yeah, I'd just drop it down in price and then it's good. Militia, 3-point talent. At the start of the combat phase, you may discard this card to place a battle station token beside your ship, even if you already have one. In addition, if it's on a Bajoran ship with a Bajoran captain, you gain +2 attack dice to your first attack made during the round in which you use this upgrade. Just like the Dominion talent for 2 points, except it also has the option to give you 2 extra attack dice if you fit that niche. And this is what I like about this talent specifically. It gives you something, period, and then if you meet a criteria, Bajoran ship, Bajoran captain, then it gives you a bonus. And I like that. For 3 points, this is very reasonable, so I don't think it needs a fix. More Than Meets the Eye is a 1-point talent. You may discard this card to place a scan token beside your ship, even if there's already one there. And you cannot perform a scan action as a free action during the round you use this ability. This is what all free action talent should be. 1 point, do it, done. I love this card because it's filler, more so because it does everything I want it to do. Yeah, so that's good. Alright, navigational sensors. After performing a come about maneuver, you may disable this card to immediately perform an additional maneuver. You can only buy this for a Bajoran interceptor. It's very reasonable. It worked well on the blind booster. Say what you will about Interceptor 8 as a pack, but being able to do a come about and then do an additional maneuver, it's powerful. The only thing I would change about this is time tokens instead of a disable, because it's navigational sensors. Those shouldn't really disable. They should just take a little bit of time to adjust to their new situation, because nothing you're doing is making them go out of whack. That's my take. Neela, 5-point crew, action. Target a ship at range 1 to 3, roll 3 attack dice. If you roll at least 1 crit, inflict 1 crit to the target ship's hull. If you damage the target ship with this action, discard the card. If you did not damage the target ship with this action, disable the card. Yeah, as I talked about in my review, it's too risky for me. So if you want to keep the wording as is, she needs to cost less. She should probably be like a 2, maybe 3-point card. If you want to go about changing the wording of her, then I think she needs to have time tokens put on her, maybe 2 time tokens if she doesn't work. Just because putting a disable on her is saying you can't perform her action for 2 rounds. And that's a bit much. That's you then have to perform a re-enable action and then her action again to try to roll a crit. And I don't want to do that. I don't think anybody wants to do that. Time tokens would at least allow you to try again without excessive action. Phaser strikes. I'm going to talk about both versions here because they're essentially the same. For an action, you can attack with this weapon as if you have a skill of 10. And then for the attack, you disable this card, you get range 1, you give away range 3 in terms of the extra die. And this can only go on a ship of hull 3 or less, but it costs 5 extra for any ship besides the Bajoran Interceptor. One version has 4 attack dice, the other has 3, and then they cost 1 more than the attack dice they have. So I like Phaser Strike. I think it's a useful weapon, but I think they should only cost as much as the attack dice they're providing. So I think they're just a little overpriced. They're close. They're really close, but they're just off. And I'd also like to see a version with time tokens, but beyond that, Phaser Strike's a useful weapon, just not one I want all the time. Alright, we're down to the final 6. Provisional Government. Action. Discard this card to target a ship at range 1 to 3. You cannot attack that ship, and that ship cannot attack your ship this round. I don't see the point of this card. That's just saying, my ship can't shoot your ship, and your ship can't shoot my ship. And what's the point? Diplomacy is far better in terms of saying, you as a player can't shoot my ship, and I as a player can't shoot your ship. It's locking those 2 ships out of combat. So I'd like to see a Bajoran version of that. Provisional Government, I guess, if anything, it shouldn't be an action. It should be done at the start of combat, or it just straight up needs to be redone as a attack cancellation card. Those are messy. Pursuit. This is a 5-point talent as well. When attacking a ship that you already have target lock, during the roll attack dice step, you may discard this card to roll +2 attack dice. This upgrade may only be purchased for a ship with a hull 3 or less. Really good card. My only problem, a little too pricey. Make it 4 points, then it's maybe worth it. 3 would be ideal, since it's only a one-time effect. But yeah, I like the card. I like the effect. I think it's neat. I think it's a good thing to do, but yeah, just needs to come down and cost a little bit, so you might actually want to run it. Roll Laren. A 5-point crew. When attacking during the roll attack dice step, you may discard this card to roll +2 attack dice for that attack. In addition, if this upgrade is deployed to a Bajoran ship during the modify attack dice step, you may re-roll all of your battle stations result for that attack. This upgrade may only be purchased for a Bajoran or Federation ship. I like the thematicism of the Bajoran or Fed only. That much makes sense. Although, Maquis, but meh. Her effect is a very useful one. But again, it's not one that warrants a 5-point cost. It's one that is probably 4, because it's a little bit better than Pursuit, because you can get a battle station reroll. But it's a one-time effect for those extra dice. And that doesn't justify a ton of extra points. So, yeah, lower her cost, and then she's very playable. Alright, last bit of tech stuff here. Solar Sailed Power, this is 3 points. After you move, you may disable this card to treat any maneuver as a green maneuver, and this can only go on the light ship. Probably needs to be a 2-point card, since it's a disable. If it was constant, then I can definitely see the 3, but since it's that disable, it just needs to be down in cost. And then it's a cool effect, but it's probably not something anyone's going to run as is. Yeah, to keep with the name, I'd want to do, like, disable this to do an additional 1 straight. You're getting a bit extra with the Solar Sail Powered, or add 1 to your maneuver. Like, discard this to increase your maneuver speed by 1. But, yeah, those are some ideas. Though that's where Tachyon Eddie's picks up. And that's a 3-point non-unique card. When you reveal your chosen maneuver, you may disable this card to add up to +3 to that maneuver speed, inflict 1 damage to your ship if you add +2, or inflict 2 damage if you add +3. This upgrade may only be purchased for a Bajoran light ship, and no ship may have more than 1. Probably a time token card is the fix here. And maybe rolling dice for damage might work. Roll dice equal to the amount of speed you increase and see what happens. Or even dice equal to speed +1. You know, so if you add 3, roll 4 dice and see what happens. Maybe you die. But that's the risk of the Tachyon Eddies. Yeah, it's a reasonable card. Warp Drive Refit. Last card. During the activation phase, if you reveal a 3 straight maneuver, you may use a 4 straight instead. This can only be purchased for a ship that does not have a 4 or higher on its maneuver dial. You know, it's a 2-point card. I think it works perfectly fine as a 2-point card. It's a good Bajoran card. So, I know this video's gone long. So what does Bajoran actually need at this point? Like, if we're trying to brainstorm the ship pack or something that kind of ties it together and makes it better. They need better captains. I don't know that they'll ever truly get a ship that makes them the absolute bruiser, but they need some captains to go along with all these talents that say Bajoran captain on a Bajoran ship only. They need a captain that's worth running in those circumstances. They have a few, but those captains, for the most part, deal with extra defense dice, and there's so many things that counter defense dice. Maybe they need a card that lets them roll their defense dice regardless of enemy upgrades. Makes them impervious to an enemy upgrade. I'm thinking Meg Charges and Nanclus, saying that they can't. That would be something in the vein of Chese and the Borg upgrade, the 2 that got the errata, that prevent enemy players from interacting with upgrades. You have something that prevents enemy players from messing with your defense dice until they mess with that upgrade. So I don't know. I think that's something that could exist first. So I think that's what Bajorans need, because they have the tools. They have extra durability. They have extra defense dice. They have extra attack dice. Yeah, those are some discards, but they exist. So they just need better captains. And you go from there, and they're a pretty playable faction. Not as a faction as a whole, but you bring along a Bajoran ship, and they can do good work. All of this being said, there's a lot of Bajoran cards I like. When that happens, I want to see them played. I want to see more of them. And I hope we get some more Bajoran stuff. I want to see a Captain Sisko as a Bajoran. I want to see Gul Dukat as a Bajoran. All of that's thematic. I also want to see Lita. I want to see some of the Kais. And it would not hurt the game to see more of that stuff. All of that being said, let's see what happens. And thank you guys for watching. And until next time, we'll see you around the shipyard. Take care, guys.